everybody. Welcome to Katie in the Morning. I'm Katie Page, Director of Member Relations at the National Association of Healthcare Assistants. Today, we're going to take on the big, scary catheter care. Every facility has at least one resident with a catheter in, and most CNAs are scared to death to care for them. You see a lot of UTIs develop from people with catheters not getting cleaned the right way. So we're going to go through the process of cleaning a catheter, both the leg bag and the extended bag, and just kind of go through those tips, give you guys a little reminder on kind of what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. The general terms for a catheter needs to be cleaned at least twice a day. If they're in the bed, I was gonna make like a makeshift catheter for you guys, but I couldn't pull it together. It didn't look right. So I'm just gonna walk you through the process. When you're cleaning a catheter, the supplies that you're going to need is obviously your gloves, warm washcloth that has soap and water, alcohol swabs, the urinal, and then I don't know if you guys know this or not, but they used to, back when I became certified, they said that you had to put a paper towel between the urinal and whatever it was sitting on as a barrier to prevent infection. But now they're saying that it has to be something that is non-absorbent. So like a plastic bag rather than a paper towel, or better yet, I like to use a basin in a plastic bag. That way, if it tips over, the basin's there to catch whatever's falling out, and you can just take that plastic bag off and not have to worry about cleaning the basin because it was clean the entire time that you're using it. So that's what I do. So when you're cleaning a catheter, the first thing that you're going to want to do is drain the catheter first. There may be a point sometime where you're going to have to take the leg bag out, or the extended catheter. You have to take that out of the linen, out of the clothes that they're wearing. So that's always easier to do if it's drained first. When you go to drain a catheter, make sure you have your gloves on. If it's hanging off the side of the bed, don't take it off the side of the bed. Just leave it there. Put your barrier down, and then your urinal. You're going to want your alcohol swabs, and you drain it out. Just pull it out, let it drain. Then you should have your alcohol swabs open, so you don't have to worry about opening them with your gloves on. Go around the outside of the opening that drains the urine out, and around the inside. That's two different alcohol swabs you're going to want to use. Clip that back in. That part's done. Now, when you're doing the peri area, as far as the catheter goes, CMS says that you have to clean 4 to 6 inches out from the point of entrance. So whether it's a man or a woman, you're going to want to clean their body first, and then the catheter. You're always going to want to go from, so say this is the period, whether it's penis or vaginal catheter, you want to go from the point of entrance out 4 to 6 inches. I like to use the washcloth and warm water for this rather than the alcohol swab, because if you touch their skin at all with that alcohol swab, it can irritate it and it can dry out that entrance point as well. So even if you want to, you can use both. Just use the washcloth and the warm water 2 to 3 inches down, then use the alcohol swab for the rest of it. Just kind of sanitize that area, and always make sure that their leg strap is on and in position right, because that can cause them a lot of pain and discomfort if they don't have one, or if it's placed too low. Anybody who's had a catheter, I can tell you from personal experience, when it slides down and starts to pull, oh man, that's probably one of the worst feelings in the world. It makes you feel like you always have to pee, which can turn into a behavioral thing and cause falls as well. If the resident feels like they have to go to the bathroom constantly, it's making extra work for you. So it's easier just to check and make sure that catheter is in place every time that you check them. With the leg bag too, you're going to want to open it up, do the same process, clean the outside, the inside, kind of insert it back in. If you're switching from a leg bag to a bed bag, make sure that you're rinsing them both out. Some facilities use hot soapy water, some use vinegar. It just depends on the policies and the procedures at your individual facility. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about 3 different points to watch for with catheter care before you ever leave the room.
CNAs start here at NACACNA.org. If you are a certified nursing assistant, NACA is right here for you.
It's something I totally believe in. I believe every CNA deserves to be part of this organization, because it just makes you feel amazing and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
NACA to me is that entity that I think all CNAs need to be involved in. It gives you so much pride and joy to know that you're with an association that cares about you and what you do and what you represent.
I'm a member of NACA because of what it represents, taking care of elders, coming together as a team and just the encouragement it gives the CNAs.
I feel like NACA is an organization that helps me grow personally in my profession that I would have never known or been able to have done without them.
Your CNA membership with the National Association of Healthcare Assistants is just a few clicks away. For as little as $5.83 per month, your journey begins. The benefits are amazing. NACA provides you with the opportunity and support to be the most educated, recognized, and inspired CNA in America today. We believe that together, every CNA can achieve more than what any of us can accomplish on our own. Take that first step to advance yourself as a professional working with other CNAs who are committed to quality and professionalism. If you need more information, call 417-623-6049.
Welcome back to Katie in the Morning. Today we're talking about catheter care. I want to share 3 things with you guys to watch for while doing catheter care before you ever leave the room to go to the next resident. Number 1 is with our male residents. If they have foreskin, make sure that when you're doing that peri-care, you're pulling that foreskin back, cleaning it, and drying it before you move that foreskin back up into place. I only say that because I saw a horrific incident at one of the facilities I worked at before where they'd pulled his foreskin back, cleaned it, and put it back up with, it was still wet. There was an infection in there that got out of control. There was some very young CNAs working there that weren't comfortable doing male peri-care, so they just never did it, and it got an infection. His whole groin swelled up, and they actually had to remove his member, like took it completely off, and he ended up having some very, very serious issues with that, and eventually he ended up dying from, I believe it was gangrene. Don't quote me on that one, but so just make sure when you're doing peri-care that you're washing and drying those areas with the males before you put that foreskin back up. It can cause so many issues and be so uncomfortable for them, and a lot of them can't tell us what is wrong, especially those dementia patients. So that's the number 1 thing to watch for. Number 2 is watch for like the darkening urine, the kind of odor. Just CNAs are the eyes and ears for these residents, so if anything changes, if their output's decreasing by a lot, make sure you're reporting it to your charge nurses. And then the last thing, if you're going to bring like a UA, or if you're going to bring a catheter bag out to clean it in like a washout room, make sure that you're putting it in a plastic bag to carry it down the hallway. That is one of the easiest things to get cited for when state surveys there is that contamination in the hallways and around other residents' rooms, even with a UA. I know it's not policy or procedure or anything, but I always put them, when I get them for the nurses, I always put them in a plastic bag to take them out. It just prevents so many things from happening. That lid can pop off very easily. You'll have urine everywhere. If they have some kind of a contagious illness, it can spread like a wildfire across the facility if we're not really, really careful. And the last thing, I know that was 3, but I have one more for you. Always make sure you're washing your hands when dealing with body fluids. I thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you right back here tomorrow for Katie in the Morning.